everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy, on Board Game Geek, getting ready to bring our third episode of Eldritch Horror, using the Forsaken lore expansion. So, welcome and thanks for joining me. We're going to continue without much further ado. We are attempting to, of course, defeat the Ancient One Yig before he is awakened and brought to the world, and I hope we can do that. So far we've had some mixed bag of luck, some good luck, some bad luck. Anyway, we're going to get started with the action phase for our first, our lead investigator, who is currently right now Trish Scarborough. So we're going to get going right away. And again, guys, this game can be a little complicated and fiddly, so if you see something that I may have done an error or missed, please don't hesitate to let me know. But I will tell you, I'm trying to do some back-to-back filming over the weekend so that I can get to some other projects, and also with crazy work weeks lately, it's been harder for me to do this on a regular basis, but I try to get to like 3 sessions in on a weekend, so I'm doing a couple of them back-to-back. Anyway, let's get started. So, on to our action phase. So, Trish Scarborough is doing quite well. She's got good stuff. She's blessed. She's got weapons and weapons to use. She's got a bonus to her influence. And this last turn, a gate appeared in her space, which is also there's also a deep one there. So I would have loved for her to do some asset gathering, but when a monster is in your space, you cannot do that. So she's got no damage on her or anything else, so she can't do a whole heck of a lot in her action phase, which kind of sucks. But what we are going to do is, I've been thinking about what the best thing for her to do is, and obviously I think one thing she can do is prepare for travel and take a train ticket, and that's probably about the best thing she can do. She'll have to forego her second action. She doesn't need to rest because she's not hurt. So all we're going to do this turn is give her a travel ticket, and that's going to end her action phase. And I'll just show you, she is in Rome, and you'll see what's there with her. So you see, there she is, and she's got this deep one with her there, so she can't gather assets like I would have liked, and she's going to have to fight this deep one. She's got a good chance against it. She does have a combat of 3, and her 45s gives her +3, and her bullwhip actually gains +1. So she's got quite a bit she can do during that phase. So, but that's going to end her action phase, so we're going to move on to now Lily Chen. Lily's not going to have too bad an action phase. She's still down at the gate as well. I've been debating on whether or not she's going to stay there because she has something else to contend with, and that is a elite powerful monster, the zombie horde, which, man, I don't even, as strong as she is, I don't know that she can fight this very well. She's going to have a -3. She's going to get to roll 1 dice, and it's going to do upwards of 2 or 3 damage to her, and she takes 5. And man, it says if you lose a health from the strength test, you discard an ally, and she's got a great ally. So, as much as I'd like to continue on there, I don't know if that's the best thing for her to do. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just not sure what I want to do with her. She can't gather assets there. She could move and then use her ally, but if we leave that gate there, there's also further trouble going forward with the gate, because when the Omen track moves, we'll have a monster surge, which is bad. Anyway, I guess she doesn't want to lose this research student that she has that allows her to get clues, and she's got 2 clues. So, okay, here's what I think we're going to do during our action phase. She just isn't prepared to have to fight the zombie horde. So, we're going to leave there, and we're going to travel to here. That's the best she can do. Well, actually, yes, that's the best she can do. Because then we're going to roll for her research student. It says roll 1 die. On a 5 or 6, gain a clue. On a 1, discard the nearest clue on the game board. There's one, and I think the only one that's around on the game board right now is in Arkham. So let's get the dice roller. Just put it right here, and we'll see what she rolls. If she rolls, we're hoping for a 5 or a 6. Let's see what she gets. Of course, she got a 1. So we discard the clue that's on Arkham. It goes back into the pool, and that's it. So she still gets to keep the research student, but he did some bad research, and it didn't help her at all. But that's going to end her action phase. And our luck has turned south on us a bit here. We were doing really well at first. Now we're having not so good luck. Anyway, let's continue on to Charlie Kane's action phase. Charlie's he's still doing pretty good over there in San Francisco, and I think he's going to stay there because he's going to, of course, do an influence test and see if he can gain some assets. There's still some pretty good. What he really wants is the fine clothes, because those help his asset gathering even more than what he's got now. Now keep in mind he is blessed, so he gets to roll a 4, 5, or 6 as a success. So let's go to the dice roller and roll it. His personal assistant's going to give him +1, and he gets a reroll as well, so he's going to roll a total of 5 influence dice on his asset test. Okay, here we go. Now, remember, we get successes on 4, 5s, and 6s. Finally, we got something going there. We got 3, and we get to make a reroll, so we'll reroll that 1. Okay, well, we've still got 3. We got 3, and that's going to be enough for him to get not only what he wants, but, yeah, he can handle it. He's going to do well. Well, he's got 3. It would have been nice if he had 4, but he doesn't, so he's got 3. So he's definitely going to take the fine clothes. And I think he's going to take the whiskey, too, and he's going to give the whiskey away, probably to somebody who's going to be encountering a lot of creatures, perhaps Trish or Diana. Probably Trish, because she's the one that's going to be doing a lot of fighting. Anyway, he's going to keep this one, and what this does is for each 6 he rolls, it counts as 2 successes with asset rolls, so that's even better for him. Then yes, he's going to give this whiskey to Trish Scarborough there, who will be encountering some nastiness elsewhere. Now he still has an action. What will he do? What will he do? I was going to send him over to Arkham, but there's not much of a point now. He has a... Yeah, well, I could take a boat ticket. I could send him... No, I don't want him... He needs to stay in the city. There's no question about that. So I think what he'll do there for his second action is heck nothing. Let me see. Another... Oh, he can take an action to have another investigator of his choice make an immediate additional action. So I think that will be his second action, and I think I know what we're going to do with that. So let's go to the table, and I'll show you. With our luck kind of turning south on us, we're going to have to make some bold moves. So we're going to use Charlie Kane's other ability. So his first action was to perform an asset test. He did that. He gained the fine clothes and the whiskey. He gave the whiskey to Trish, sent it packaged and shipped to her. She received one of the gifts from Charlie. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to use his other ability, his personal action, which is to take an action. He takes an action and gives another character an action. So we're going to move her up to here and try and gain that. Now she's only going to get 1 die roll, but she gets a reroll. So we could have some luck. We got to take some bold steps here if we're going to succeed, because we're having some luck turn south on us. So that's going to end Charlie Kane's action phase, and then we're going to have Diana Stanley, and that'll end the actions. But let's get to her action phase now. Okay, Diana Stanley, she's still in Buenos Aires, where I think she's going to stay because, well, so she has an ability, though, that she can take an action if there's a cultist monster on her space. It says discard all monsters on your space or move the cultist to any space, to any other space. Reduce the horror of the monster by 1. So, I think if she goes and tackles because the cultists have a comet effect, and we don't really want that to trigger. So if she goes there, she doesn't even have to fight it, because she'll still have another action. She can take, now keep in mind she's got her Holy Cross, she's also got that Dark Pact, which is going to trigger at some point. Bad news. But anyway, let's go to the board and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so she's here. Now, she's definitely going to get this, but she could get a lot of good stuff from the expedition and take the cultist down. So I think she's going to do that. And she's going to activate her second action will be her personal action. And it says again, if there's a cultist monster on your space, discard all monsters on your space or move the cultist monster to another space. Well, I think we're just going to discard him. So we're going to get rid of the cultist monster that's on her space. It's going to go back in the SpongeBob Monster Cup, and then she will stay there and encounter the expedition. And that is going to end all of our actions as we move on to the encounter phase. Okay, we're going to move on to our encounter phase. So here she is. Now the first thing she has to do is take on the deep one that is guarding the gate there. So we're going to go to the dice roller. I'll grab the deep one off of her space, and we'll see what happens when she encounters the deep one. Okay, so there's the deep one, guys. You can see that he's got a she's got to make a horror test against him, but there's no modifier. He's got a toughness of 2, and then the combat test is a strength -1. Now, here's the good thing, is Trish is tough as nails right now. She's got her 45 automatic. It's going to give her +3 to her attack. Her bullwhip's going to give her another +1, plus she gets a reroll from that, and she's already got a 3, so that's going to be 7 dice that she gets to roll against this guy under strength test. But first, she does have to make a will check. And she does have her whiskey. Don't forget she's also blessed, so she succeeds on a 4. She should go take out that creature up in the north. Well, anyway, we'll think about that in a little bit. She's also blessed, so she gets 4, 5s, and 6s. So let's start with her will check to see if she loses sanity. Now you see that the deep one can do 2 points of sanity damage. She is going to be rolling 2 dice, but she does have her whiskey to help protect her. So let's see what she gets. Okay, she succeeded at nothing, so she would take 2 sanity, but she can take the whiskey, her whiskey bottle. It says, you may discard this card to prevent any investigator on your space from losing 2 sanity. That would include her, and she does not want to lose sanity, so she has discarded that card. She drank some whiskey up as she went in to fight the deep one, and now we're going to need to do her combat dice. Let's hope she does better. She is going to get 7 dice there. Okay, let's hope she does better than that. Man, we only need 4s. We 50-50 chance she can't roll one. Anyway, she is going to have 7 dice on this one to do it, and again, she just needs 4s or better. If she can hit him twice, then it will die, and she will take no damage. So let's hope. Now remember, she is -1 dice, so we're going to only have 6 dice to roll, but that's still really good. And what does she get? Well, she got 3 successes, so that's going to beat the creature's toughness by 1. So we have managed to kill the deep one. That's awesome. Now she can go ahead and encounter the gate, which is what she's going to do next. Okay, so she's going to encounter her gate in Rome. So what do we do with that? Well, there's yet another big giant stack of cards that are other world cards. And so when she steps through the gate, it's going to take her to some other world, hopefully where she gets to fight something, because that's her best ability. So anyway, I'm just giving it a quick shuffle again, because I like to make sure they're nice and well shuffled. And let's draw. This will be the first other world card we draw for the game. So here we go. Let's see what she gets. Okay. The Great Hall of Celaeno. Okay. It says, the book you are looking for is not on its proper shelf. You search the surrounding area, but after long hours you have lost the will to keep searching. You have to make a will test with 2 dice. Now remember, she does get a 4, 5, or 6. So let's go to the dice roller and see if we can make that happen. Okay, well, so she has to make a will test. So let's see how she does. She's only got 2 dice, but she does succeed on a 4, 5, or 6. Well, she did get a 4 there, even though I rolled the other one almost completely off the table. Okay, here we go. We'll roll the other one just for the sake of it. But she succeeded. So on the next one it says, we'll continue to read. So on her success it says, the tome was hidden at the back of the shelf. Opening it, you find a series of handwritten instructions. Scrawled in the margin, you follow the instructions to the best of your ability and understanding. We need to make a lore test. Well, that's really bad for her. She's only 1. If you pass, close the gate. If you fail, you become frustrated and lose 1 sanity. Okay, well let's try and close that gate. Okay, she gets 1 die roll. Remember, she has to succeed on a 4, 5, or 6. Come on, baby. A 4. Awesome, she does it. So she succeeded in closing the gate, and that is going to be our first gate encounter. Completely done. So what does that mean? This gate goes to the bottom of the gate stack, and it is discarded. Yeah, cool. Okay, when I say the bottom, I turn them upside down, put them on the bottom, so we don't have to keep track, and then when they come up, we'll shuffle them again. But that is going to end her encounter phase, and it was a rather successful one. So now we're going to move on to the encounter phase for Lily Chen. Okay, well, Lily Chen is actually going to take a risk. She is going to attempt this. And it says, as an encounter, an investigator on a space containing an Eldritch token may attempt to discover the meaning behind the strange events. It's going to be an observation -1, so she's going to have 1 die. But she does have a protective amulet. I'm sorry, her Lucky Rabbit's Foot, which will give her an extra die roll. So we're just going to take a chance and hope she can do it. So let's go to the dice roller and see. Okay, so let's see if we get lucky here. She's only got 1 die to roll because of the -1, but she does get a reroll from her Lucky Rabbit's Foot. So let's give it a go and see what she gets. A 5. Well, she made it on the first roll. That is awesome. So she succeeded. So what does that mean? So we're going to look at this card again. So it says, if you pass, you may spend 2 clues, which she has, to place the Eldritch token on this card. So here's what happens. She has 2 clues in her possession. She's spending the knowledge that she gained from those 2 clues to take the Eldritch token off of Space 17 and put it on the Rise of the Serpent People card. Now we get 1 more Eldritch token on there, and we have solved 1 of our 3 mysteries. So that was a good turn for her. I'm happy that we took that risk. Now we're going to move on to Charlie Kane's encounter. Charlie's doing right fine, but he's just there hanging out in San Francisco. So we're going to draw another green encounter card, which will cover the San Francisco area, and see what he comes up with. So here we go. Let's see what we get here. Let that focus for you. It says, the examiner hires you to spend a night in the Winchester Mystery House. That's the Winchester Mansion. By the way, if you've never been there, it's very cool. They provide you with experts in detecting the supernatural. Improve, oh wow. It says, improve your observation. The odd architecture in the building's history threaten to unhinge your mind as the evening passes. So we need to make a will check -1. If we fail, we lose 2 sanity. Well, regardless of that, he gets the +1 to his observation, but now we got to go make a sanity check. And we only get 1 die because he's got a will of 2 and nothing that can help him with that, but he does have his blessed status, which will allow him to succeed on a 4, 5, or 6. Okay, so here we go. Again, we have to make 1 success, and if we fail, we lose 2 sanity. So let's see what we get. A 1. We failed miserably, so Charlie has to give up 2 sanity. He may have to spend an action resting next turn, but regardless of that, it does give him, as you notice, it says improve observation, and not you improve if you succeed, or you may improve. It says improve. So we're going to do that right now, and that's going to help him a lot. Okay, so now we have Diana Stanley up, and we're going to encounter the expedition another time. So I'm going to go draw the top card of the expedition, which means it will move. Yes, it's going to move to the pyramids next turn. And let's see what we get. It says in the Amazon. Okay. You see the vine-covered temple ahead of you, but you're going to have to fight your way through a thick tangle of venomous snakes between yourself and the entrance. Make a combat test. Well, her combat is 3, plus she can use her, well, it says a strength test, not a combat test. So I'll have to think about that for a minute. Anyway, it's going to be at least a 3, so we're going to get to that right now and see if she can succeed. So that is not a combat test, as like in the same sense that you're fighting a monster. So she's just going to have 3 dice to roll. She needs to get 1 success on those 3 dice. So let's hope that she can do it. Let's roll our dice. Okay, here we go. She rolled a 6. Great. So 1, 2, 6. So she did succeed. That's awesome. It says, of course, these always require multiple rolls. It says, okay, let's reread this. You enter the Temple of Yig. Retreat the doom by 1. Oh, man, our doom it's a 10. It's not going to get any better. That's the minimum for Yig, or the maximum for Yig. Strange runes are inscribed on the walls in serpentine design. You must interpret their meaning to avoid their hypnotic effect. So we have to make a lore check. Good old Diana, she's got a 1. If she fails, she gains a amnesia condition. So this card, man, this card didn't do anything for us, and we're in jeopardy of getting an amnesia condition. So let's roll for that and see what happens. Okay. She rolled a 4. I mean, she failed, so she's going to get the amnesia condition. So at some point we're going to have a really interesting time with Diana Stanley, because now I'm searching through the deck for the first, there it is, the first amnesia condition. And what it says, it's a madness. When you perform a rest action, you may roll 1 die on a 5 or 6 to discard this card. If we get a common effect, we have to test our will, which is a 1 for her, and then flip this card. And she's also got the Dark Pact condition. So, man, if we get a common effect for her with this turn, we could be in an interesting place. Well, let's see, though. We don't know, but that is going to end our encounter phases for our characters. And now we're going to move on to the Mythos phase. Okay, here's our Mythos deck. So let's draw our next Mythos card and see what begets us. Oh, Omen Track move, and we have a gate out. So we're going to have a Monster Surge. That's what we have to do first. So let me get to that immediately, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, well, I got kind of hung up on the Monster Surge. Now, how do I know there's the Monster Surge? Well, it's actually the second symbol on the card. So we're going to do that second. And how do I know how many it's going to be? Well, because of our game card here shows 2 monsters right there, and those are both going to appear on the Sydney Gate, making it even more challenging. But also our Omen Track moves, so I'm going to show you what happens there. Okay, so here's our Omen Track. It's going to move 1 more. Now that symbol matches the gate, that's the symbol that's on the gate in Sydney. So unfortunately for us, what that means is that our Doom Track, which we could have just bumped up, back up 1, is going to go down 1. But we do have some good news on this card, actually. So now we're going to go to the Monster Surge, and I'll show you how that works. I guess a little bit of good news is that we did close the gate that was in Rome, thanks to our friend Trish. But we are going to have to draw 2 monsters. So the first of those 2 monsters out of the dreaded SpongeBob Monster Cup is a ghoul. It doesn't have anything special about it, so it's just a ghoul hanging out with the zombie horde. That space is going to be untouchable if we can't figure out to do something about it. And then next we have an Elder Thing. Now it has an activation effect. That's what that green symbol is up there, so we have to look at that. It says when this monster is spawned, move it to Antarctica. Okay, so basically, guys, just to show you that, I think you can see it in camera. Yeah, it's going to fly down to here. So we got a couple of monsters on the board. That's going to be our Monster Surge. Then we spawn a clue as well. So I'm going to grab a random clue from all the clue pile over here. Let's see what we get. We get space 19. So space 19 is way up in the corner of the board up there. So that's going to be that. Now we're going to read the text on the card and see what happens. Okay, it says, when you get there, stop at this address. The nervous little man hands you a business card for a restaurant. Ask for the catch of the day, and then tuck a saw back into your napkin. These guys can get you the answers you need. When you get the bill for your meal, it includes directions to a payphone. Some kids today probably don't even know what a payphone is. It's already ringing by the time you find it. You answer and explain your situation to the gruff voice on the other end. By the way, this is the lead investigator doing it, so it would be Trish. It says buying information. The lead investigator tests influence and gains a number of clues equal to the test result. Well, that's a pretty good thing because she has a 4. I mean, I wish this was Charlie Kane, but it's not. So let's go to the dice roller on that. So you can see not all things in the Mythos deck are bad, though they usually are. Anyway, we're going to roll 4 dice, and for every success she gets, and she's blessed, don't forget. This is awesome. Every success she gets to get a clue token. She could end up just piled with clues, which would be great. So let's roll our dice. Okay, here we go, guys. Okay, so we got 2 successes. That is going to give her 2 clues. That is awesome. And that was a very good event. So we're going to take 2 clues out of the pile, the random pile, and put them on her card. That is going to officially end our Mythos phase. Now, what didn't we have happen was a comet effect, which is great, because we got a lot of issues to contend with there. So, anyway, let's go back to the table, just review, and call it a day. Now, the last thing that's going to happen is we'll move our our lead investigator over to Lily Chen. She'll be the lead investigator for next round, and we'll just continue from there. Okay, well, Sydney's a hotbed of terrible activity for us right now. It's a bad place to be for us. Don't know how we're going to contend with that spot just yet, and we haven't done anything to advance our cause against the Windwalker. The only person that can take the Windwalker in any reasonable form is going to be our spy, Trish Scarborough. And even with her, I'm not 100% sure she's up to the Pepsi challenge completely, though I do feel good about her ability to do that. Anyway, we'll see. Let's call it a night. Thanks for watching, and next time we will be continuing our playthrough, starting with Lily Chen as the lead investigator, and we should have a good time. This has been a lot of fun. By the way, just in closing, I did repopulate the asset track, and the two things that came out were bandages and lucky cigarette case. Lucky cigarette case is actually a pretty good item, so we'll definitely try and grab those items up next turn. But anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great evening. Hey everybody, it's Doug here again. Doug Mystic on Board Game Geek. You may be watching this at the end of another video, or at the beginning, or just by itself. Anyway, would you like to win some games, or get some games? Or these games, actually. I am going to give away sealed copies of a really neat little game, The Builders. You've probably seen this highlighted a couple times. I may actually do a little quick video on this one. The game Aton by Queen Games. Shrink Wrap, still sealed. And Munchkin, The Good, the Bad, and the Munchkin. Steve Jackson games. So, if you want to win, I'm going to give away this whole bundle. And all you have to do is subscribe. So if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, in some time in the last week of June, I'm going to randomly go through my subscribers and pick somebody, and they're going to get this whole bundle. Now, the only thing I would ask is, guys, I do this for free, so I'm not making any money on this, but I'm going to give these games away. If you do live outside the United States, I may ask you to pay for shipping, whatever the shipping costs. I'm not going to charge extra for the shipping, but if you don't mind, I will include that in the caveats. So, in the last week of June 2014, in case you're watching this video 8 years from now, I will be giving away these 3 games, and all you have to do is be a subscriber. Now, added bonus, if you give me some comments on what games you'd like me to play, I will take those into consideration as well. So, that may bubble you to the top of the person I picked to win this selection of games. I will do it as randomly as possible, but anyway, someone's going to get this, so I hope you subscribe and enjoy the videos. And by the way, these are some great little games, especially The Builders. I like that one in particular. But hope to see you soon, and talk to you later.